Hey, Jeffrey. One last time. Hey, Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Sorry, I completely fucked up our cadence.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just kept talking. Welcome to
That's
Hey,
okay.
Jeff, podcast about Survivor. Not
For one
anymore.
last time. Yeah,
Rejoice.
exactly.
Rejoice, Hey, Julie listeners.
Yeah, it's over. It's done. We did it. The finale. I did not realize that this week was I thought it was one more episode. I thought there was gonna be one more. When it was a
We did,
3-hour long finale, I was like,
yeah.
what? I couldn't stay up.
Didn't
I
we talk
watched it
about
in two
this last
parts.
week? Didn't we
Yeah,
talk
maybe,
about
but
this
like
last week?
you expect me to absorb that information for longer than 10 nanoseconds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, your expectations are too high and we need to level set.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, I forget that you're like a person,
Yeah,
child,
it
husband,
happens. Yeah.
responsibilities, an actual like life and family, and like something beautiful that you are building. And
Thank
I
you so
like
much.
walk around in my underwear, and I'm like, I like
You're thinking
sing,
about the
I like
3-hour
sing TikTok
survivor.
songs to myself, and like
No, I do that too.
eat food out of a giant bowl.
Yes. Oh,
Why
the
not?
bigger the bowl, the better. I'm so
Yeah.
not looking forward to anti-bowl. Like, there's gonna be bowl backlash for sure, where everyone's like, it's much better to actually eat off of a plate, and I'm not ready for that.
No. No. Egyptians invented bowls in the year
For a reason.
1700
Yeah.
for a reason. To put brains inside of.
Whoa.
I don't
History
know.
lessons from Hey Julie.
Yeah. The Survivor's finale happened. What'd you think, Danielle?
I enjoyed it, and I'm like doubling down. I'm doubling down on
Survivor
being.
is good.
No, not on that.
Oh,
I mean, it was fine. It was fine. It was way too long. I I had to break up the finale because it was just too long. So I watched 2 of the first hours in one night and the next night the last little bit. But like I'm doubling down on being pro Maria. And I think this is
wow.
controversial. Very controversial.
No, Maria shouldn't be trusted with anything. Like
I think
Maria
she
has. This was
is
a
cool.
hashtag Maria exposed party. I'm sure she
No.
is. Sure, she's a great mom. I'm sure she's terrifying to her coworkers, whatever she is, whatever she does. I'm
Her
sure she's
coworkers are
terrifying.
like parents. She's a parent coach. She like tells parents how to raise their
She's a
kids.
parent. Okay, I saw that on her lower third all season, and I
Yeah.
never knew what it for. I don't know why I thought it was like she's like a soccer coach.
No, I think she coaches parents on how to parent. I think it's like my kid, I'm having issues with my kid. I gotta call Maria.
She's
Bring in
just a
Maria.
hustler. She's
She's
just
a
a
hustler.
hustler. She's
Yeah.
just someone who gets paid $200 every 30 minutes to be like, do the fucking laundry, loser.
But I
Feed
think
your
that
kid.
but looking at
Buy
her,
some
aren't
paper
you
towels.
if you were gonna hire a hustler, wouldn't you wanna hire Maria? I feel like she comes across as very competent. She's very unemotional, very logical, very like, "This is how it is." The one time we saw her break was when she couldn't get the letter from her kids. But, like, otherwise, she's pretty it seems hard to rattle her, and I think that's what you want in a parent coach, if you were to hire one.
Have you ever taken advantage of a parent coach? Have you ever hired a parent coach?
I haven't, but, I can, totally understand why some parents would want that. I have not
You
felt the
have
need.
you have all the instincts.
I you know what? I think I do actually. I think I'm doing okay. Watch it, but like she's 2. So the problems are pretty small at the moment. Talk to me when she's in like student loan debt. Like and like
That's her
dumping
problem.
guy getting dumped or whatever. Then I don't
That's
know
her
what I'm going to do.
problem.
Yeah.
At 18, that's her problem.
Yeah. Yeah. But I saw that a lot of people so we can just walk through it, I guess. Like
Okay, yeah.
first of all, Liz and Kenzie teamed up against
It's like
against Maria to take her
like
out.
an hour into the episode.
Okay, well let's
No,
start
it's
from the
not
very
really. No,
beginning.
actually, no, that was at the beginning. My theme for this episode was if you believe this, you're a loser.
Believe what?
A bunch of things.
Okay.
Maria gets back to camp and she's actually like, she tells Charlie, actually, it was everyone else's idea to vote out, to vote for you. it was Kenzie and Ben and Liz who suggested that I vote you out. And then they flipped it on me. If Charlie believes this, he's a loser.
Do you think he really did?
No, I don't think he did, but I was very
Yeah.
nervous because I was done with Maria. I was very
Yeah.
nervous during the first part. And then later, okay, we actually do have the okay, we'll get to my next you're a loser point later.
Okay.
You wanted to bring up that Liz helped Kenzie in the second to last immunity challenge.
Yeah, they realized that like in order to get out like that, how can people not like this about Maria and be impressed by this and think that this is actually like iconic? The fact that two players had to team up to make sure she wouldn't win. That's how good she is at comps. She's not the typical comp beast. Can't we all appreciate this? Like
I
hashtag
feel
girl
like
boss.
this happens every season. I feel like this happens every season. I
You
feel
do?
like people in their 40s are probably generally the best. Like unless you're Hunter, who's like, I was gonna be a fucking brain
His
surgeon.
tood continued. The tood continued into this
I
episode.
think people in their 40s are. We had freaking Gabler win. Like there's so
Yeah.
many
Yes, that's
aged,
true.
not that you even call someone in their 40s aged, winners of Survivor and winners of these challenges. I think unless you're Hunter, who like lives on a slack line in the woods somewhere, or you're, Q, who's a former football, D1 football player, this or that. I think people in their 40s are able to do well at these competitions for mental reasons. I think they're able enough to physically handle, like it's not like they're in their 60s or 70s and they can't like do this stuff because they have
Right.
osteoporosis. And people in their 40s are out of fucks to give. They're like, pain. I'm Maria. I've given birth 3 times.
Yeah.
I've
run a marathon.
run
I
a
don't know
marathon.
if she has or hasn't, but she seems
Yeah,
like
it's
she
just
would.
like I've experienced like what is more pain? I don't care. I don't care anymore. I will push
It's true.
myself through hardship because like whatever. Like
I've done
whereas
that.
people in their 20s are inconvenienced by
Yes.
pain and adversity. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe 10 years from now I'll be like whatever. I'll push through it. So that's why I think she did very well all season.
She did.
Like,
She
obviously,
killed it.
she's a fit woman,
Fit
but
queen. Fits though.
fit queen. Anyways, Liz helping Kenzie, great moment. Kenzie's like, count the holes in the plank. She's like, what plank? And I'm like, no, I'm rooting for Kenzie. What do you do? No, the plank.
Yeah.
The plank. And then Liz helps her. We love Liz. This is a pro Liz podcast, but
This is a pro Liz. That's another thing that's
Liz
controversial,
is
Brett.
a
I've seen
loser. Liz is a loser.
but we're pro losers in a way. We're actually we defend losers, we're here for the little guy. I've seen so much chatter online too, very anti-Liz and anti-Maria chatter online. This is a safe space for Liz and Maria lovers, appreciators.
Sorry, but like you're in the middle of that puzzle too. It wasn't like she was a bit further behind in terms of the puzzle, but like not that much far behind. They were all on the puzzle.
Yeah.
Just giving up and being like and helping Kenzie, which was a great moment, but it also speaks to some of the like mental gymnastics Liz makes later in the episode about her own place in the game. And perhaps her, how she would have fared in the final 3.
I mean, she had like kind of a perfect arc. Well, I don't even know if it's an arc, but a perfect end.
How'd you feel about the pasta?
The pasta, we need to talk about the pasta. The pasta, Liz is allergic to pasta, so she didn't need to go on the.
What else?
That was like, but it wasn't unamusing because like she did kind of throw away her chance to win to help Kenzie, which was let me tie it all back, by the way. We all know Kenzie won. Kenzie the prom queen. Kenzie the freaking prom queen. That's what happens to prom queens, guys. You should all be trying to be a prom queen. Prom queens have people help them win even though they don't
Oh,
even
yeah?
ask for it. People just want to help the prom queen. They just want to help them. And that's what happened with Liz. And then when the prom queen wins and is like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to take the person who helps me. The person, Liz of all people, is like, yeah, I'm okay with that. That's the prom queen effect. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not even going to take you to prom with me. And
Yeah.
Liz is fine with it.
Liz is like, yeah, of course you wouldn't. I'm a nerd. A nerd can't be friends with the prom queen. I have to go back to the AV club.
I loved it. I loved it.
So there appeared to be sort of like a bow tie pasta with a pesto sauce.
Oh, I couldn't even really tell. I wasn't like, I couldn't tell what
And
they
when
were
I
eating.
when I see like a bow tie with pesto, it almost looks more like a pasta salad to me rather than like a hot pasta.
Yeah.
And then there appeared to be like sort of a classic red spaghetti as well. But like
Sure.
I know it's hot,
Yeah. Do
but
you
like
really want to be eating?
where's the Alfredo, dog?
I don't know. Pasta on the beach is not, I don't think that's like my go-to. Pasta on the beach?
No.
Even in Positano, that's not what I was really wanting to eat.
Yeah, Italy is surrounded by beaches.
Yeah.
They don't do
But
it. No.
that's where you have your
Yeah,
panini.
when you go to Hawaii, when you go to Mexico, when you go wherever, you like just a thick tagliatelle.
With a creamy Alfredo
Cream
sauce.
sauce. And okay. They get back to the beach.
Yeah. Back to the beach.
Somehow Ben shares the embarrassing trait that he does not have a driver's license.
Which I relate to.
I was going to say loser behavior.
I know Kenzie was really calling me out. She was like, if you're an adult, you should probably get that taken care of. And I'm like, I'm not only an adult, I'm an adult with a child, Kenzie, and I do not have a driver's license, and I'm making it work.
How do you get anywhere with
It's
your
called
child?
public transportation. Hello.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm
So
pro the bus, pro
pro
train.
bus. Get
Yeah,
on the
pro
bus.
streetcar.
They get back to the beach and Maria is like, you know what? You know what? We've all had the wool over our eyes. Get out of the matrix, Neo. Take the red pill. Ben is the secret mastermind of the season. And then I wrote, if Liz, and she's pitching this to Liz because she's,
Yeah.
She's like three votes are gonna win this. And I wrote, if Liz believes this, she's a loser. And
Lo and behold.
I wrote down like Survivor has to be fucking with us because what ensues is like 20 minutes of like, is Liz gonna flip and like Charlie, Liz, and Maria are going to vote out Ben at Final Four? Am I really about to watch this? And then they go to Tribal, and the Tribal was I would say that was a strange Tribal to watch for 5 reasons, maybe not 5. There's a ton of shots of Liz looking squirrely, like looking at Ben, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you like I want to eat you, like I want to vote you out. And I'm like, are we really going through with this, or is Survivor fucking with us here? And then there's this sort of like Maria. Let's all just share Maria's stories. Let's all just talk about what a
Right.
strong and amazing woman. Let's hear from her.
Well,
Let's
because it
hear
was
her
just like there was no
personal thing.
suspense whatsoever. We knew that they were going to take their shot.
Yeah, that was what was just strange to me is they were building up a lot of suspense about it, and then they didn't even get to the vote, and they're like, actually, there's no suspense. It's going to be Maria, and we're all just going to share stuff. And then we vote on Maria for 1, and then we're going to give her a standing ovation. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This made me more in the anti-Maria camp. I just got to be honest.
Well, I mean, they had to give her flowers because she was a really good player. She was like so gonna win if they didn't get her out, but then they got her out, and it was so obvious that that's what they were gonna do. And then we have to get to like the most, maybe not the most shocking, but the most like biggest wrench in this episode of this season, which is Ben winning the final immunity. This was the craziest. This was like, well, not the craziest, but I was just like, I cannot fucking believe Ben, Mr. Vest, Dudes Rock, of all the characters this season who like, I don't know, maybe he is a really interesting, funny guy. He's an interesting
nice.
guy. Yeah, he's totally nice. But one interesting thing that came out actually during the final whatever jury tribal was how he was talking about how Carolyn inspired him to come on because he was like, "Oh, if someone as kooky as her can go on, I can go on." And it's like it couldn't have been a more different edit. Like maybe he is as kooky and lovable and fun as Carolyn, but we just did not see him that much. He really was the who of this whole season. But then in the final episode, the most important part, suddenly he's like a starring role. He just came out of nowhere.
Because there's no one else.
Everyone's like, "Oh, who's this guy? He won, and now he gets to make the final biggest decision of like who's gonna use fire or not, or make fire." It was just like, wow, Ben really took his chance, and there he was. Philip G said they gave Maria weeds, not flowers. Wow.
Wow.
That's what the internet is giving her.
Showtime.
The internet is giving her weeds.
Yeah, like Ben, I don't know. Like Ben wasn't as interesting as Carolyn. Like literally just to hear him make shredding puns, just different puns about the word shred or to play guitar. Like Carolyn was like
special.
Wild.
Yeah.
She was like, like Carolyn also was like a much more active player. She remember like when they were split up in the early tribe section, the idol was in a cage, and to get that first idol, you had to cause a distraction in order to steal the idol from the cage, where everyone knew where the idol was, and everyone was going to know when the idol was gone. She was doing that. Like she was always in these situations where she was a hinge point or a pivot point in the game, whether it was about possibly voting out the little Harry Potter boy, her friend, or Jam Jam, like she kind of had a love-hate relationship with, and she was always the pivot point for votes, for different mechanics happening around them, and like it would be on her to make a decision at the end of the game, at the end of an episode in Tribal, and her face was like Kristen Wiig and Mr. Bean put together, like being like, I don't know. And Ben's like hanging out, having night terrors, and like even the night terrors are not interesting. Like that was like the only thing.
The most interesting thing was that the prom queen showed him some mercy and was his friend.
It's like, this guy was having night terrors, and he like needed. I don't know. Also, too, like, God, this is why Kenzie won, I guess. But if someone was having night terrors and going insane, I would be like John Lovitz in The Wedding Singer. He's going insane, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
Close the curtain slowly.
Goodbye. Go have a night terror into the sea, Ben.
They were all really nice about it. I was thinking to myself, I would be so pissed. Like, I'm finally back to getting my juicy 8 hours of sleep. I'd be so pissed if anyone came in between that and me again. So I would not have mercy on Ben. I would like just sleep as far away from him as possible and be like, good luck, bruh. Good luck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I need my 8 hours, honey. I'm on a beach. Yeah. I gotta preserve my sanity here.
Ben winning that immunity challenge. First of all, that was a cool challenge. I don't think we've seen something like that before.
Yeah, it was very Price is Right.
The goofy music when the ball was in the like punishment trap was funny. It was like Donkey Kong music. And Kenzie almost won, like Kenzie throwing her ball. Liz and Charlie got their ball stuck in the punishment trap, like the designed punishment trap.
Yeah.
At least once each, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And Kenzie never got hers in the punishment trap, but she definitely had a few where she underrolled it or rolled it off and it just flew off into the ocean. She had to run and find it. Yeah. And Kenzie was pretty close. And if it weren't for that, then she might have won that. And Ben of all people wins, which I think is I mean, it was the path to a Ben win. It was like, when Doctor Strange is like, there's 1 in 14 million way chance that we can defeat Thanos, and like he found the one.
Ugh, I'm so not a fan of Doctor Strange. That guy he sucks. He's got a bad attitude. He's kind of like Hunter, actually.
Yeah, well, at least Doctor Strange is a doctor.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We went to medical school, Doctor Strange. Same medical school as Dr. Evil.
I don't even know if there was 1 in 14 million chances that Ben could have won. I think winning that final immunity was good, but honestly, what I was thinking, Ben, you got to send yourself to the fire, dog. You got to realize what like a low win percentage you have right now. You got to put yourself up against the biggest. You got to put yourself and Charlie up in the fire. You go, Charlie has the best chance of winning. I'm going to beat Charlie at fire. And he didn't do that. He took Charlie. He basically almost gave Charlie $1 million.
Thing, yes. And like, I almost feel like they all should have had a revolt. They all should have had a revolt where they say, no, we don't even want to question Ben. Like, what is even the point of including him in the final 3? Truly, he just was such a nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
We need to ask Charlie and Kenzie questions, not Ben. What are we going to ask Ben? Come on.
Hey, yeah, like, can you play a fucking D minor 7th on guitar?
Yes, I can. I just thought that was too much. Give me a break.
Yeah, so he takes Charlie to the end, and he's like, and the reasoning is because Liz is the hardest and best player out here. And Liz is like, honestly, yes.
Yeah, she loves that. She loves that.
And again, it's like, if Ben believes that, he's a loser. And if Liz believes that, she's a loser. Like,
well, I think it's clear they are losers. Obviously, they're losers. But like I said, this is a pro loser podcast, so we're okay with that.
Yeah, it's like I look at one every time I do it.
Oh,
I was talking about myself. I'm looking.
Sure.
The return of myself. So, they're gonna go to fire. Did you also notice this too? The sequence of the events leading up to the fire, of everyone practicing fire, and there's that sound effect that like shink, shink, like the metal sound effect. They made it
cinematic,
rhythmic tone.
Yeah.
What is this? A Christopher Nolan movie?
They're trying things out.
Very like, Dunkirk.
They're trying things out. Yeah, it's very Dunkirk, which I saw for Harry Styles. No, I didn't see it. I have not seen Dunkirk yet. So should we jump to like final? Wait, so Liz loses obviously, but not before
Liz loses, and then she says,
time.
She cries and she says, I would have beat all of you.
One final Liz. I'm Lizzing. One final Liz. Full Metal Liz, says Philip G in the chat. Yeah. And she also dropped that she was a millionaire one final time, which is only important because in postseason interviews, she has now changed her tune and said that she is not a millionaire.
There was another thing. She said. Where the fuck was it in my notes? Maybe
she was like, just to give some more context to what I said. She said she's a millionaire one more time, but in her post-season interviews has said that was her strategy, to tell people she was a millionaire to lower her threat level. I will say, when Q asked that question at the final 3, when he was like, what are you going to do with the money? That's what I care about. I was like, this sucks. That is so lame. And that's why
that was awful. And that was honestly how Kenzie won too, by like not being like, I'm going to donate it to all the dogs in my neighborhood.
Right.
Or like, there was I don't know where, I thought I wrote this down, but Liz at one point says too, I have to take care of 3 households. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's just say, because she's a millionaire and because she's a business owner.
Maybe that was in the postseason interview. Oh, but go ahead. Yeah.
let's say that for some reason she's made so much money in her career that when she divorced her husband, the father of her child, she actually owes him money.
Yes. 1, 2.
Because she made so much that she owes him alimony or him
Yeah.
child support payment or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
So her household, let's just say for argument here and for trying to get to the number 3, that she owes her ex-husband money because of how rich and successful she is.
Yes.
Who's the third household?
Parents. Aging parents. That's what my guess would be.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's actually really easy.
Never thought about that. I never thought about that.
Like maybe her parents didn't save sufficiently for retirement and that it's on her. Maybe she's the only child. She's the only child, or she's the eldest daughter, so she feels the need. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I figured parents.
Okay. Then whatever.
Plus, she's going to Applebee's every week. That is a big budget suck. That burger.
Not really. She's got a kid. Kids
that
eat
burger's
for
$23.
Oh, but I'm sure it comes with an app. I'm
Yeah.
sure it comes with
leftovers.
I'm sure there's some, dude.
Liz needs to stop eating avocado toast, is what I'm saying. Stop having those $7 lattes.
Handcrafted burgers. Bourbon Street Mushroom Burger.
How much?
I have to enter in my zip code, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, it changes. Dynamic pricing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's different.
Where's Liz from? Do we remember?
Dynamic pricing? You talk.
Okay. I thought you were onto it.
I'm close.
$15.59.
$15.59 in Los Angeles.
Well, that's $23 in Canada.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Another huge, this is not really related, I guess, but like a huge bombshell was dropped at Final Tribal, which is that Q is married. Q has a wife.
Q is a extremely successful realtor. I've been watching lots of like Q content. Q is like on stage at like the realtor conference, the realtor convention, and he's like Frank TJ Mackey. He's like out there on the stage and he's like ramping everybody up. And everyone's like, hell yeah, Q. Q's out there and he's like, if you believe it, you can sell it or something like that.
Yeah.
He's selling all the houses in Mississippi or Tennessee or wherever the hell he's from.
Yeah, I just couldn't picture. I thought he was really young. I don't know. I thought he was young and unmarried. He did not give wife guy energy.
He doesn't give wife guy energy because he
is not a wife guy.
Insufferably stubborn and bonkers about everything. You can't. Q, what do you want for lunch? It's not lunchtime. It's the middle of the night right now. I want to leave you right now because of how crazy it is. You suggest we eat lunch right now. I'm Q.
Mm-hmm. Q would be like the worst improv partner. He would be like Michael Scott doing improv, where you're like, "Hi, Q, welcome to the bank. It's not a bank, it's a roller coaster, and bang, bang, you're dead." Like that would be what improvising with Q would be like.
Skarkle in the chat says Q should be on the Hustlers tribe. Would that be a good like theme season, like Hustlers versus Grinders versus Betas.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would love
Hustlers, Alphas, and Betas.
Yeah, Chad tribe. I would love that. They gotta get the Jack Reacher. Did you know that this is so unrelated? That they're getting a new guy on Jack Reacher who's double the size of Reacher. He's 200 pounds bigger than Reacher.
He's bigger than Reacher. I'm sorry. I thought you cast the biggest possible guy as Reacher.
No, they found another guy who's even bigger.
Why isn't he? Is he Reacher now?
No, his name is Treacher, I think.
Reacher's got to beat him, and it's like, how is he going to beat him? He's bigger than Reacher. No,
exactly. That's the thing.
Q on Q. We get to the tribe. We get to the tribal council, and finally, the jury is allowed to speak, and Q takes full advantage. Q is taking issue with how the people in the final 3 who beat him are like describing the events of the game. I have jury duty in a few weeks.
Well,
I would not want to be on a jury with Q, I would not want Q to be
No,
on a jury to be judging me.
that's a hung jury
Or
right
maybe I
there.
would. It
Yeah.
would be just a hung trial. It would be a
Yeah.
mistrial or whatever like that. Because it's just like all the evidence is there. Brett didn't do the murder. Brett
Right.
didn't do the murder. And Q is like, actually,
Yeah.
actually, he looks like he wanted it. He looks like he wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. Q's gonna find a little nugget,
Yeah.
a little something.
Yeah. I saw Brett drinking water weird. So in my mind, that means he's the murderer.
He did it. They also, I thought the jury, overall, I feel like the jury segment started out very strong with Tiff saying, don't say
Yeah.
any Taylor Swift quotes and don't talk about rock music. I loved that. I was so happy she said that. But I also then did find that a lot of them came across very bitter. Or at
They
least,
did
even if
come
the
across,
question wasn't bitter, it was delivered in a very bitter way.
yeah,
Venus seemed
which I
very
loved.
bitter. Soda seemed very bitter. They're like the bitter sisters, because they like they're best friends.
Who?
But
Who's
Soda and Venus,
Venus? Soda, who are you? Like,
first one out.
yeah, exactly. Like, there was one good question from Soda where she was like, Ben, you basically did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Charlie, the only thing you did was ride on Maria's coattails. Kenzie, you're beautiful and hot and nice. All three of you are losers. Can you explain to me what any of you have done in this
In
game
30
for me to give you
seconds.
$1 million? Yeah, that was good. Tiffany was
Yeah.
great, and Tiffany was amazing in the
They're
jury segment. Everyone
yeah.
it was a bit spicy, and yeah, I mean, and then obviously too, you have the one of the wilder things, which is Maria, best friend to Charlie, doesn't vote for Charlie in the end.
I don't care. I don't care. This is what everyone's so pissed off about, and this just goes to show me that people, they can say whatever they want. They just like that Charlie is like Andrew Garfield, who openly talks about loving Taylor Swift. He's like this cutie patootie who loves Taylor Swift, and so obviously everyone loves that. I don't care. I'm glad Maria stabbed him in the back. I'm glad she voted for the prom queen. I'm glad. I don't care. I like Charlie. I think he did a pretty good job, but I don't think he was amazing. Sorry, he was not that good. He wasn't better than Kenzie. They both,
Yeah.
if either of them had won, I would have been I was fine with either way. Like if he had won over Kenzie, I still would have been fine with it. I don't think it's not like he did such a much better job. That's how everyone is acting. Everyone's acting as if Charlie was the clear amazing winner all season. No. That's wrong. He and Kenzie were the exact same. Period.
No, you're 100% right. It was a truly 50-50 thing. And Charlie's definitely presented himself as like, hey, I was the like Omega mastermind here. I was leading from behind. I was leading through Maria. I was leading through these other decisions that happened. I wasn't actively pulling the strings, but I was very much a part of them. And I was, as he said, like keeping my options open. I was working through a number of things with all of you, and that's what led me here. Whereas Kenzie was like, I'm just overall really kind of good at everything here, though I wasn't like
And I
actively
totally forgot.
part of.
I completely forgot that Kenzie was on like the ultimate loser tribe that went to counsel like in the entire
Yeah.
first half of the game. I totally forgot that. When she brought that up, I was like, "Oh yeah, she came from behind. She had no one, right? Like
She didn't have fire until like
yeah.
day 13. She like, literally slept in the fucking cold, didn't eat food
Yeah,
for 10
next to
days.
Ben, who kept screaming.
Well, that's the thing with Survivor. Again, I've mentioned this on this show before. It's sole survivor. It's not best player. Like you mentioned at the beginning of the show, like Maria was going to win. That happens every season. At Final 5, Final 6, there's always one person who you're like, this person's going to freaking win if they get to Final 3, and they don't, because other people recognize that. The quote unquote best player, like the person who displays the most observable dominance at Survivor, doesn't frequently win. Like maybe Tony, the 2 times that Tony won. but he's kind of like so freaking bonkers. He's like
Yeah.
he's he's got a bit of Q in him too, where
Yeah,
he's
I
like
was just
so
gonna
like
say
he's
wild
really
card.
good at Survivor, but in like
Yeah.
a chaotic way. We're like, what the hell are you doing, man? He's like hiding in the sand, and
Mhm.
that actually doesn't make you a good survivor. Like if it were just about like the best chess player wins all the time because they understand the chess. They understand how chess works,
Gotta
right?
rewatch Queen's
But that's
Gambit.
not
Yeah.
what Survivor is. Survivor is about being pretty good at Survivor, but not that good. Like
Yeah.
and that's the artistry and the joy of this game. So yeah, no, Maria. So Charlie kind of was that, but also Kenzie was that as well by being a little bit more under the radar, not drawing attention to herself. So
Yeah.
I think she was very deserving. I think Charlie was. I certainly felt Charlie looked shell shocked at like the
Yeah,
final
I'm sure that
sequence
was
of
a
events.
hard pill to swallow.
I wasn't like the biggest Charlie fan in the world, but even I was like, oh God, poor guy. Like
But you know what? They
Maria just like
already had
stabbed him twice in 2 days. But also,
they
like that's what the
already
show
had
is.
their falling out. They were conspiring against each other while they were together on the island. So that's why to me I didn't think it was yes, of course it's like a stab, but it's not like the most incredible backstab of all time the way people are treating it. I want to call out Skarkle in the chat said, "I'm so glad Kenzie said, fuck charity, the money is for me." I 100% agree. We talked about this a little bit already, but when everyone was going through how they were going to start a charity, donate to a cause, yeah, exactly, feed the orphans, whatever. Of course, that's all well and good. I was desperate. I was like, I wish I could be there and just say, I'm going to blow it on drugs. I'm going to blow it. I'm going
Yes.
to stuff it up my
Yeah.
nose. What do you do? Like, fuck you guys.
I'm gonna call Brett. I'm gonna call Brett. He lives in LA.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get the hookup. Like, I just found that insufferable. And everyone in the jury, it's like they're still playing. They're still playing for something in their heads on the jury. Because when people are
Yeah,
describing
they're
how
playing for a fucking 14 extra seconds of fame.
yeah, exactly. Because someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of like, yeah, the stray dogs in my neighborhood." They're all like trying so hard to be like, giving like a big
Mm.
nod of approval, like, "Yes, that's the right answer."
It's
I'm
like
just like,
performative,
screw
like
that. Yeah, exactly.
LinkedIn shit.
Like,
Get
shut
out of here.
exactly. It's LinkedIn, like 1,000,000%. I hated it. I hated that, and that's why it was a little like Kenzie obviously had the preemptive like I am a good person because I've done all this stuff. Now I feel I deserve to be selfish.
Yeah.
Like here's all the good stuff I did. Now I'm going to be selfish. So she did sort of preempt it a little bit, but I'm still glad that she was just like, whatever, I'm going to go on vacation. Like good.
Philip G in the chat says, Brett, watch out. Danny would cut you loose on the island. Of course, I would expect nothing less of her. I would have a single tear run down my face, but a tear of approval. Of like,
Mm,
yes,
of pride.
yes. CBS producers, first of all, I'll never go on any one of your shows. Second of all, if I did, I would cut loose my mother. I love my mother. Love you, Mom. I would cut loose my best friend. The point of going on this show is to stab people in the chest for
Yeah.
$1 million. I would absolutely do it. I would ruthlessly not care. Oh, this person held my hand when I was having night terrors. We've been best bros since the beginning. What the fakeness of like the Charlie Ben like bromance thing?
Right.
Like freaking Ron Howard, like footage not found. Like, where was that? They're like, oh yeah, on day 3, you guys talked about music for a little bit. You did your little Metallica versus Taylor Swift name off.
Yeah.
Losers.
I do want to bring up, I know this is like jumping way ahead, but like they showed clips from first Survivor 47.
I have a whole
But
section of like miscellany.
Brett, you
But
and I
we
are
can
never going to
talk
get
about that.
cast on any of these shows because they've already got a famous podcaster.
They
on
just
next
put
season.
they just put 2 podcasters on the next season.
Oh, who's the other one?
I don't know, but I think she's like part of the Pod Has a Robcast, like Survivor. There's like a
Whoa.
Survivor Big Brother podcaster as well.
Wow. Well,
I'm
they
gonna have a
have
tough
John
time with
Lovett.
47. I'm gonna have a tough time with 47
because you're gonna see
for
yourself
that.
through him.
I hate John Lovett.
I
I think John
don't really
Lovett
know him.
is.
I just know he's a podcaster. This is
I
the
think he
second John
is.
Lovett we've brought up during this podcast.
Oh, I think John Lovett is obnoxious.
Oh.
I might be preventing myself from like future employment. I think like I think all of these like Hillary coded like
Mm,
kind of like centrist
yeah.
Democrat
No,
podcasters or
yeah.
whatever are like honestly part of the fucking problem.
Well,
That's where
yeah.
I lie politically, is that I'm a bit further left than them.
Yeah.
I think John Lovett and his crew are like really fucking smug about everything, and they're why people hate Joe Biden and hate Hillary Clinton and like hate Barack Obama and stuff, and would rather vote for a fucking fascist
Ugh,
than vote for like normal ass Hillary Clinton, who's like fine, but like all those crew. Anyways, for people who
yeah.
don't know who John Lovett is, who you're about to know if you watch Survivor, he's part of the crooked media people, who are all these former Obama speechwriters who have now have a somewhat successful podcasting
Media
business.
empire, I would say.
Media empire, truly.
Yeah.
And he's one of them. He's one of the main ones. His vibe, at least on the podcast, is like he's the funny one, and it's like
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I've never listened.
footage not found. Okay.
Well, maybe he'll be
And
great on Survivor, but it is going to be like it's going to be like we're never going to get a chance because of him now. Like, that's
yeah,
the podcaster slot. It's
yeah,
taken.
no,
It's over.
yeah. Maybe that's the theme, is like podcasters versus not casters.
Oh my gosh, then they really should have had us on. I can't believe it.
I know.
And then people
I
would
know.
have they finally would have seen me stab you in the back.
They put Canadians on it all the
I
time.
know.
Venus,
Um,
Canadian queen. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's get into more of the miscellaneous.
Okay.
Yeah,
Danielle, you actually watched 2/3 of this episode in America, so you
I
might
did.
have even seen a number of these commercials and promos, which I'm about to reference. Why in the fuck did you see this commercial for A Quiet Place: Day One with
Yes.
D, the winner of Survivor 45, who you are so
Yes.
familiar with?
Yes.
Where it's D and everyone's like, who? And she's like, I know how to survive. It's about
She was
taking
running.
control and being quiet and like escaping the Quiet Place monsters. It's like,
It was a
what?
full cinematic commercial. Like, they had a budget for this commercial.
Yeah.
And it was so relevant because you just reminded me last week how I forgot who D was. And so thank God you did, because then when I saw her, I was like, "Oh yeah, she did win that last season of Survivor." Otherwise, I never would have remembered. It was I mean, a shocking choice of promotion. But it is what a lot of it's like how Bravo does their like movie advertisements, is they have like the housewives, driving a car in Ford versus Ferrari or whatever. And
Yeah.
they have like they integrate
No, they do that
personalities.
too in sport. Like I watch a ton of sports, and like they do that too. That like they have one for like Furiosa right now, where like
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, a player on the Milwaukee Bucks, is like driving a freaking Mad Max car, and he's like
Yeah,
has
yeah.
sunglasses, and like they edit it so it looks like he's in the movie or whatever, and he's like, yeah, and that's
Just
why I
has
buy a AT&T cell phone. Go
right.
see Mad
Yeah.
Max, sponsored by AT&T, sponsored by the NBA or whatever.
Right.
Those are so bad. There was like
Yeah.
Ghostbuster ones a few months ago when the new Ghostbuster came
Less said
out.
about that, the better.
I
Um,
know.
it was shocking. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, because I was also like, wait, what movie is this? I couldn't tell. And then I was like, wow, Quiet Place, this is like the third sequel, I'm pretty sure. But it's the first day where they all had to start
Yeah.
being quiet.
Yeah. Who cares?
Okay. So they're going to be talking through most of it. They're like, finally, a quiet place where people can yap a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen till the end. They're not going to figure it out till the end, right? They're going to be like talking, and then they're
I
going
don't
to
know. I've
figure out,
seen
oh,
the
it's from noise.
trailer. It doesn't. Yeah, I think they're slowly learning. I think they
Okay.
learn.
Okay.
I think they're learning. There was an ad for Garfield, the Garfield movie starring
Mhm.
Chris Pratt.
Yes.
And that movie, I believe comes out this weekend. So it was like a pull quote ad. And there was an announcer guy like doing announcer guy voice, and he wasn't like trying to be funny or anything. And he was just saying like, he was just like reading pull quotes from like the 3 or 4 reviews that were positive for this movie, because I don't think it's being well reviewed. And it's just like, it's the perfect family picture. Garfield's back. And then he says this other line in such a weird monotone that I broke my brain by saying it constantly to myself for the next 6 hours. 5 stars, more like 5 lasagnas for a Garfield movie.
I want to know who wrote that. That was fake like AI.
Yeah, but like he wasn't like being like, I don't know what kind of like
what the direction was on the
like
delivery
spice he should have put on that to like get the line reading good, but he kind of went with like, I'm just saying this. I'm just like doing this pure neutral. And 5 stars, more like 5 lasagnas for the Garfield movie.
He didn't want to give it any extra editorializing.
No.
He wanted to let the words speak for themselves. They're so beautiful, you know, you don't want to put too much on it.
I mean, it is beautiful. It is beautiful.
5 stars. Let me try.
Yeah.
5 stars. More like 5 lasagnas for the Garfield movie. It's hard. It's hard to not give it anything, actually. It's very hard. Okay, what else? What other commercials? Yes.
Another one that you probably saw. This was earlier.
Yeah.
Danielle, are you and I buying $300 VR headsets, and are we playing Survivor: Horizon Island on the MetaQuest?
Okay, I did not see this one. I think I must have been in the bathroom or something.
There was a commercial, and they were like, Survivor fans, your dream is coming true. You can play like the ugliest PS1 virtual reality Survivor game on a MetaQuest. It's called Survivor Horizon Island, and you can download it now on your MetaQuest.
My
and
MetaQuest.
They were showing gameplay from this, and it was like you're like doing Survivor challenges with like other people, but it's in VR, but it's like 1995 graphics.
It's on my MetaQuest.
Because it's the MetaQuest. It's like Mark Zuckerberg's little like thing, and it's like, we don't have legs or arms here. We're like, it looks like Wii, you know, like the Wii, the Wii bowling, and like it looks like that. And it was like, this is something that I would have played like a Flash game of in high school.
Yeah.
And it looks so bad. And they're like, Survivor fans, 5 stars, more like 5 lasagnas.
5 lasagnas on my MetaQuest
for Horizon Island.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
I think that could be like, I mean, I'm never going to do this, but like, that's the real Hey Julie meetup, is we all have to like, we select 10
meet up on
people,
MetaQuest.
And we'll all play a full season of Survivor for 39 days with each other on the MetaQuest.
I saw one. Did you know that Mandy and George got married for the first year?
Mandy, it's people? Like Mandy and George's first. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the spin-off. Okay, this is from the Young Sheldon universe.
Okay,
this is a spin-off of the Young Sheldon spin-off featuring no nerds.
No, we're the nerds.
Where are the nerds? I do not like Big Bang Theory. I do not like Young Sheldon, right? Because the joke is like, he's a nerd. Great.
He's a loser. Pro loser podcast.
So this appears to be like his brother character, who's just like a Southern
Or is it
guy.
His parents?
No, his parents. Have we talked about this on the pod? Or did you?
I know the dad cheated on the mom, but then it turns out that he didn't. But I think these are his parents.
No, his parents are these are like his. It's like his older. No, it's like his older brother and his girlfriend.
No, I don't think that's right. I think these are young Sheldon's young parents, But, like, the ad that I saw was very, like, the 2 actors talking about, like, what an honor it was to play the roles of Mandy and George, and it's like,
Yes,
George
that was amazing. That was amazing. George and Mandy's First Marriage is the name of it, and it is a spinoff of Sheldon's
Okay,
older brother, Georgie, and his
okay,
wife,
yeah.
Mandy, and their young
Listen,
family.
Toolinator in the chat says Red is right. I trust Toolinator, so yes, okay, fine. Fact checked. We got fact checked. I'll
Hashtag Brett's always right.
true. Okay. But they do this, like, interview with the actors,
Amazing.
and, like,
Amazing.
the woman, the girl playing Mandy is like, "Here's the thing about the actor playing George is, I just am so excited to see you take on this role because I think you're gonna be incredible." And instead of the guy, instead of being like, "Yeah, you
She's
too."
normal. She's
Yeah.
normal. She's normal, though. She's like a beautiful young woman who's an actress. Good for her. You
But,
know?
like she's complimenting him, and he's, like, a newcomer, and she's giving him his flowers, and he just goes like, "Yeah, thanks." Like, he
No,
doesn't
no,
return the favor
the thing
whatsoever.
for me was they're showing clips from young Sheldon, and his character is like, "Oh shucks, Mandy, I guess we're pregnant now. I guess we have to get married, dude. I don't know with her, right? Oh," and he's just like the most like stereotypical Southern
Yeah.
guy accent in the thing in the young Sheldon clips. This was the thing that threw me off because then then you see the actress and she's like, well, I'm really honored to be playing this character on a new show and,
Yeah. She's a
blessed,
pro.
whatever. And then she's like, what do you think or whatever? She throws to the guy, and the actor, as himself, not as a character, is like, gosh, well, I'm going to do my It's like,
I don't
you're the
remember
same
that.
exact guy. You're not even acting. They probably cast you because young Sheldon started 6 years ago because you were like 16 years old and sounded exactly like whatever they wanted the character to sound
Right.
like, and they didn't. There probably wasn't a young actor who was good enough to do that, so they're like, well, let's just get a guy who sounds like super southern to do it. This guy isn't even acting.
5 stars. More like 5 young
More like five
Sheldons.
lasagnas. Also, it's called George and Mandy's First Marriage. Is that the implication that they are eventually divorced and remarried?
Yeah, that's why I assumed it was the parents, because I think the parents break up eventually.
They're not the parents. Their
I know,
father died.
that's clear.
Sheldon's father dies canonically.
How about How I Met Your Mother? Why, why don't they cross over with that if they want to get into all these spin-offs? It's just
I know.
enough already. Enough already.
Skarkle in the chat. Who knew Brett was such a scholar of young Sheldon? My brain is broken, Skarkle. I have
5
so
stars.
more like 5 lasagnas. Okay, a few other things. The Broadway actor Andre DeShields is in the season finale of Elsbeth. Will you be watching? Will you finish the season of Elsbeth?
I won't, but I have to tell you, I was at the park play date with a fellow mother friend, and we were talking about how we don't like to watch challenging entertainment anymore. We like things that are smooth on our smooth brains. And I said, yeah, so like what type of stuff have you been watching? She goes, have you heard of this show called Elspeth? I was like, oh, have I ever?
You know what's really good? They
Target
just tell you
audience,
who
baby.
the killer is at the beginning.
Target audience. Achieved.
I saw
Go ahead.
I saw an ad a couple weeks ago for Elsbeth, and
Yeah.
they have extended the telling you who the murderer is into the promos, because I think it was like I think was it
I have
Keegan
to.
Michael Key was a guest on it, and they showed you in the promo that Keegan Michael Key was the guest star that week, and he was the murderer.
Yeah. That's why they guest star on Elsbeth, is they murder someone and then they collect their check.
The
they're on their
promo
merry
was
way.
like, look at him, he killed him. Husband's got to figure out who did it. It's like, well, we know who did it. We haven't even watched the damn episode.
It's like, but here's the thing. Skarkle in this chat says you always know who it is because they're the biggest name. Okay, but like usually, even in Law and Order SVU, it's like they have all these big name guest stars, but there's usually a twist or two to make you think like maybe it wasn't them. On Elsbeth,
Sometimes it might be the guy who's like working at the Italian restaurant, and he's like, I don't know, I don't have enough time to talk right now. I gotta unload all these tomatoes.
There's usually
Maybe it's
some form of suspension of whatever. It's just like the most smooth brain TV ever. We do have some questions in the chat too in Discord that I want to get to.
my last thing. There was also
Okay.
a promo for Matlock with Kathy Bates,
Which is in its second season, I believe. Big hit.
Yeah, well, it's coming back,
Big
and
hit.
the promo was like, "It's me, Matlock. Crazy thing about society is that no one pays attention to old ladies,
Little old ladies.
and you know what?
Yeah.
That works for me." I'm fucking Matlock. She was like she's kind of like teasy about it, like
You know what?
I'm gonna use that to my advantage because I'm Matlock.
Good. I
Female
rewatched
Matlock.
Misery recently. You know who's the best fucking actress on the planet? Kathy Bates.
Kathy
I'm glad
Bates,
she's still working.
We gotta watch Matlock when it comes back.
we should.
I would watch an episode of Matlock before I watched Elsbeth. All right.
Yeah, I can commit to that.
Questions in the Discord.
Okay, from Toolinator. I hate to admit that I was being a huge nerd and reading Exit Press. You don't have to hate to admit to that. But I read in Charlie's Exit Press that Maria told him she regretted voting for Kenzie. How often do you think people regret their final tribal votes? No regrets. No one should have any regrets. Just like, who cares? So what? Honestly, if that's a regret in your life, you've lived a beautiful life. I don't think anyone should have any regrets in that.
Well, that was not the question. It was should. Is how much
I know
do they
how
do? I think they do a bunch. I think people are very much caught up in the emotion of it. I bet people make the wrong vote all the time and feel bad about it.
But oh well.
Yeah.
Get over it, you know? Did y'all see Liz's revelation that she is not in fact a millionaire and she was planning to use that in her final tribal speech? Do you think that would have gotten her any votes? I don't know if it would have gotten her any votes, but I know it would have been really entertaining to see her use that as her big reveal and she would expect the reaction to be huge and everyone would probably be like, "Oh, huh. Okay."
Yeah. They would be like, "I don't believe you." Like, that's not the only reveal about being a millionaire is to reveal that you are a millionaire.
Right. Because you reveal you're a winner. You don't reveal you're a loser.
You reveal that you're a millionaire. You go, "Oh, wow, I've been around a millionaire the whole time.
Right.
Amazing. Maybe they'll give me $20.
Right.
To be like, I'm actually not rich. You're like, well, first of all, are you lying right now to get me to give you the money? That's what it seems like. Are you lying to make me feel bad for you so I can give you the money and then you'd be a millionaire? The only time it's exciting when someone isn't a millionaire is Joe Millionaire. Classic reality show, dating reality show.
Yeah, I do think we were a little robbed of that reveal with Liz in the final three, but oh well. Jump for joy.
There definitely might have been like a cricket sound effect or something like that. Yes. When she says it.
The flint, the rhythmic flint. Jump for joy in the Discord. Have either of you seen the allegedly #1 show in the world, Tracker?
No.
No, I haven't. I'll add it to the list after Matlock. The big time Reacher ripoff, Tracker. Reacher or Tracker? I hardly know her. Tolinator also asked in the chat. In Discord, what's on the schedule for the time between Survivor and Big Brother? Sexy tennis movies of yore? Yeah, Wimbledon rewatch.
Match Point? Was Match Point sexy?
Probably.
ScarJo was in it.
The famously
litigious
ScarJo. Don't fuck with ScarJo, okay? Can everyone just learn their lesson and not
everyone is
gonna sue you?
Horny for ScarJo, and poor ScarJo. Like the moment Bill Murray whispers in that young woman's ear in Tokyo, everyone's like, "Oh, we need to make every movie about how sexy she is. She's a sexy spy. She's a sexy robot. She's sexy this." Like, stop it. Leave her alone.
I know. And now she has to sue everyone, and she's gonna win. She's got the best lawyers in the world. Let me tell you.
She sued Disney for I don't even know for what. For delaying her
They
movie?
settled, but she won. Trust me.
Oh yeah. When you settle against Disney, you win.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Keep it out of the courts. They don't want to go into discovery. Guys, I did see a movie, but I'm not even going to get into it because we're at time. I don't want to even get into it.
And I'm seeing that movie tomorrow, so we can talk about it on next week's pod.
Ooh, we're teasing. We're teasing. What could it be? It's Garfield.
5 lasagnas, 5 stars.
uh,
How many lasagnas would you give the movie you saw last night?
I gave it 3.5 lasagnas.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. All right.
Yeah. It's on the
Well,
positive side. There is
yeah.
a
Well,
new hottie on the scene, though. There is a new hottie.
oh yeah.
Danny's
Is it
hottie is
normal? Is it normal?
yeah, it's normal. Thank you all so much for listening.
Yeah.
Join the
Yeah.
Discord.
We're gonna, I guess, keep doing this for the next few. I mean, about
Yeah, why not?
6, 7 weeks until Big Brother starts. Listen, I imagine we'll probably take a week off here or there until Big
Yeah,
Brother
it is the summer.
comes back. It's the summer. I'm going away. Danny's gonna make lasagnas. She's got to go talk in the park with her Elizabeth fan group,
Fan club,
rewatch group.
yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about a movie next week, maybe more than one movie. And thank you so much for sticking with us for a pretty good Survivor season.
Yeah,
Pretty good
good. I'd say
Survivor season.
good.
And
5 lasagnas.
5 lasagna. Yeah. Now, I would say 3.5 to 4
3.5
lasagnas
lasagnas, yeah.
for Survivor 46. Hopefully it's a 6 lasagna season for BB 26.
You ever think about, like, I don't think a cat should be eating lasagna. Like, I don't think that's okay.
No, I mean,
Right?
cats are weird though. Cats like eat birds and fish and bugs and like
Okay.
dirt.
I just think that that's a vet bill waiting to happen, but okay.
It's a long meal to prepare.
It's a lot of work goes into lasagna, and then the cat eats
Yeah,
it. You'd be
no, it's
pissed
you
off.
gotta make like a bechamel. You gotta maybe boil the noodles if
Bechamel.
you're not doing. To put in between the layers.
Many
Oh my
layers.
gosh.
Many
Many
layers. All
layers.
right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.